Hi, and welcome to week two. I'm glad you have had an opportunity to look at the weekly overview announcement and are now engaged with the video. A good way to start your week is to look at the overview, go through the readings, kind of with the ping pong philosophy in mind. That is, if you open up an elevator door and I throw 10 balls at you, you might not catch any because it can seem overwhelming. But if I just throw one, you'll probably catch it. Now, I would probably use that philosophy as I'm looking at this information. There's a lot of material on some of these pages and an optional presentation. As you look at the activities for the week, it might be helpful then to go back and look at the readings and say, what is the one thing that's going to be most beneficial now? Now, you might not feel so overwhelmed. The first activity this week is going to be a discussion. Where are we starting? I'm going to go here because you're going to be using a technology you may or may not be familiar with. It's called Flip in lieu of actually posting in a discussion forum this week. But before we talk about the technology, let's talk about what the objective is. I want you to take a course and evaluate it using some rubrics. One is the Oscar, one is the QCTIP, which I actually helped in the development of this QCTIP many moons ago. So the Oscar, the QCTIP, you're going to be an accessibility checker, WAVE, and you'll use this information to look at your course on some widely accepted standards that match up with accreditation standards. Then you'll also use the Peralta Equity Rubric to tell how well your course is aligned with best practices for equity and inclusion. Now, there's a little snag with the Peralta rubric. I'm going to open it up and it's going to have you come down here to download it. Now, this isn't a fillable document. So like I mentioned in the announcement, you might want to print it out, capture this and do some highlighting or print it out, highlight it, however you may want to do that. But it isn't a document that you can just fill out online. Most people will take it, print it, turn it into a PDF, and use some other program to highlight the particular areas, circle them, or it may be just as easy to print it out, do it by hand, take a picture and upload it. They're all acceptable. So let's go back to the assignment. You're going to be working with Flip. So you're going to do all this to get an overview of how you can then respond to the discussion prompts. And you're going to share the name of your class and take all this information, respond to the 4 prompts in front of a video that gives you 3 minutes or less. So consider this you're sitting down with your peers and you're telling them after you've worked through the various rubrics and checkers, you're kind of telling them based on these 4 prompts what you came up with, kind of a conversational style. Now, you can either use Google or Microsoft or Apple to log into Flip or use the guest link and password, which is set up right here. Now, I'm already logged in. So once you log in one of the 3 or 4 ways that we've described, you'll hit record, camera's going to come up, and you'll have 3 minutes to respond. The nice thing is there's plenty of do-overs. If you don't like the way you look or sound, or you didn't get this out the way you want, you can rewind it and do it again. But I wouldn't spend too much time or effort worrying about how the video comes out. Just feel free to share with us. And then there's a place on a video for you to post your reply to others. You may want to give yourself a little bit more time this week because it is a new technology, and sometimes with new technologies, there are hiccups that happen. So set some time aside to look at Flip and you'll post and then reply. Now for your required assignment that you'll be submitting, you're going to take the completed forms that you filled out for the discussion and just click here and upload them for me to look at, and I'll provide some feedback for you. Now, I will be providing a little bit more of a tutorial for Flip, but if you have any questions for Flip, please let me know and we'll be happy to walk through that. I hope you are off to a great week and I look forward to seeing you in our course.